comes up with a really good regular season with over 4,000 yards passing, and now in the playoffs, people always ask the question, do you continue to play the way you played in the regular season? Do you turn it loose, or do you tone it down a little bit? I think you got to be smart, but make sure you show the defense something they haven't seen before.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down. Now Wilson. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The quick slant, good for a first down, a gain of 12. Mixon with a first down carry. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Wilson. Steps away. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. 4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. This will be fielded at the 17. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. They will be led out by the 6-foot lefty from Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa.
And there's really no underestimating or downplaying the incredible regular season he had throwing the football. When you throw for over 5,000 yards, that's a monster season. He's got an offense that's certainly capable of doing damage in the postseason.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
Big plays always wind up being a big theme as we get rolling in these playoffs, and the defenses that can avoid giving them up, but they're the teams that tend to go far. You may not eliminate those big plays, but if you can limit them, then you got a chance to get to the ultimate game.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Here's the first carry of the game for Cam Akers. And they'll get to him just inside the 15. Even after the strong run we just saw, they're able to corral him quickly defensively. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Going right back to Akers. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover.
Touchdown! Darren Waller, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Chargers will strike first here in this wild card matchup.
On that 3rd down call, the goal was to get the ball to their tight end and pick up a first down, but he wasn't satisfied with just that. They got the first down. That was the gravy. He decided to take in the whole meal and rumbled in for a touchdown.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it concludes with a touchdown reception by Darren Waller. And no thought of a return here for Hines. The Colts set to take over here offensively. And you know, listen, there's 2 ways to get the number 7 seed. You can back into it, or you can charge your way into it and seize it. But ultimately, once you're here, you can throw that out the window. You've got to come to play.
Yeah, you just think of that phrase, any given Sunday, or Saturday as the case may be. And even though this is a 2 versus 7 matchup, don't think for 1 second that this game's going to be a pushover. Anything can happen once the playoffs begin.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. first. Wilson now to throw on third down. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Colts in possession. Now is the punter, Jordan Stout. Agnew now to return. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. On first down, Tagovailoa. This is caught. It's Christian Watson. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So the penalty rightfully declined. They'll keep the yardage on the completion.
Still some disagreement by the defense, though, because he thought that was just good, strong coverage, and the contact's going both ways, so why is there a flag? In the end, though.
And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. DK Metcalf, 42 yards. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And it's now 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Hines opting not to risk it, and this will come out to the 25. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. There's Wilson to throw. Oh, it's intercepted. He was trying to get it to Ridley. Picked off by Caleb Farley. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD. Well, CD, we have seen it many times throughout the course of the season. This defense coming up large and snagging a big takeaway. But here they get not just the takeaway, 6 points as well.
And you just knew that for this team to advance, they had to get a big performance from this unit. And to this point, they've delivered.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no thought of a return here for Hines. And the Colts getting ready to go. And this, you'd hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points, but you're down 21-0. They're going to have to get something going fairly quickly.
I would agree totally with that, because if you're going to mount the comeback, it's going to have to come in bits and pieces. It doesn't just all come at one time, right? We haven't seen anything more than a 6-point touchdown ever in this game, right? So that's how it has to be done. Get points on the board now. Start your comeback. But you're exactly right. Let's get it going right here in this spot.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
On third down, Wilson can't get away, and he's taken down. And now that brings up fourth down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. Here's Jordan Stout now. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. On the return, here's Agnew. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them. And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath.
If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that
he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And the Colts are going to get it back here just past the 35. He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defensive credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
From the gun again to Mixon. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on 3rd down. To throw is Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. It'll be a loss of 5 there as the safety blitz winds up paying off. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. The Chargers ready to take over. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete, and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
And still in the first half here, a long way to go. They'll run on 1st down with Akers. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the gun, it's Tua. That's complete to Tony. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Tua. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And the Colts will take over here at their own 14-yard line. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered. They'd had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them, because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
Well, look around the NFL. We'll have to wait for postgame because we are moving right through halftime and on to the 3rd quarter. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. Both teams trying to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Chargers getting ready to go here to start this 3rd quarter. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work to run it a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Chris Barnes. And the Colts are going to take over at their own 41. Pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Wilson. He finds his target. It's Evans. And he is going to have a Colts 1st down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7. Running left, it's Mixon. And he's got this down to the 35. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
On 1st down, Wilson. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. 2nd down and 7. It's Mixon on the counter. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Joe Mixon, 32 yards. And the Colts are able to cut into that deficit. Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7. That time a 6-play drive, and it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And they'll have good field position here as he's out of bounds up at about the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll begin on the ground with Akers. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Tua going to throw. And that'll be caught by Tony. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now it's 3rd and 3.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss. After the sack on 1st down, Wilson. And this throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing is Wilson. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Well, don't tell any defensive coordinator I played for, but that might be considered a win for both teams because defensively they stopped them short and forced the 4th down. But offensively, they picked up enough.
Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. It's the Colts, so they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we begin the 4th quarter. They'll try and run with Mixon. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. Here's Wilson. Pass incomplete. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I'll tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Evans. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack as a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
This offense on 3rd down today, it's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. Now it's Wilson. That's going to be caught. Touchdown Colts. Calvin Ridley, 26 yards. Made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown Chargers. A big-time special teams play here. The
coaches preach it all the time. If you can score on special teams, your chances of winning the game really jump up in a big way. Now, I'll let our analytics friends quantify it and give us the exact numbers, but that's what coaches talk about all the time, that extra momentum, that extra bounce you get from a special team score.
I don't have any analytics friends. Those are your friends.
I'll claim them.
And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. If they want to advance in this divisional round, look, obviously the time is now. Trailing here in the fourth as they go to work on a crucial drive, 1st and 10. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now Wilson. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Wilson. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now Wilson on 1st down. Connects with Peoples-Jones. Wilson trying to urge his guys to go faster and get set at the line. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. Yeah, boy, Mike Evans, he's in some discomfort. So we're going to stop play here as they pay attention to him. So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. There's Wilson to throw. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. To try again after the sack. Wilson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Diamador Lenore. And the Chargers are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. Well, we knew this was going to be a tall order anyway, down 2 scores with this little time remaining. But that interception puts an end to any hopes that they had.
All right, partner, work with me here because obviously scoring a touchdown, getting the onside kick, then going down, scoring again. Well, that's asking a lot, isn't it? And that's really not a great expectation to begin with. I think they'll look back on this game and see what got them in this spot in the first place and say to themselves, we really gave this game away.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Throw right side, going to be caught by Waller. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. They'll go with Akers here up the middle. And a short pickup to about the 25. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe to get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands.
He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, LA. DK Metcalf with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chargers continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead.
Well, they certainly have the look of a team with something to prove, don't they? All week, as we prepared for this game, we kept reading about how they said they're going to play a full 60 minutes this week. Has nothing to do with their opponent. No disrespect intended, but they wanted to be people of their word, playing this thing all the way out, trying to finish it strong.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Hines opting not to risk it, and this will come out to the 25. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately the second half has pretty much been And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Caleb Farley. And the Chargers come up with a late turnover.